if everyone's ready.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thanks, Rachel. Actually, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I want to go ahead and kick things off and call things to order. Due to the governor's recent order, all members of the Public Assembly Facilities Commission are participating virtually. For virtual meetings, commission members will be muted until asked to be heard. At that time, they will be recognized and then will be unmuted. When there is a vote, it will be necessary to take a roll call vote. The commission member will be recognized and will raise their hand and state their vote. Today's meeting is a public meeting per the notice posted in the September 17th, 2020. Citizens can listen to the meeting if they contacted the city manager's office to make the necessary arrangements. The meeting also will be live streamed on the city's YouTube channel, which can be accessed on the city's website. A recording of today's meeting will also be available by Friday, September 21st, or Friday, September 25th, on the city's website. The minutes were sent out last week. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Oh, hey, let me do a roll call first.
Oh, absolutely. Rachel, could you go ahead with the roll call, please?
Yes. Jill? Looks like she's not on. Haley?
Here.
Otis?
Here.
Billy? I got you. Jim Rose?
Here.
Manya? Manya, can you hear us? You might be muted. Manya? We'll go ahead and mark her as here since she's connected twice, it shows. And then Kathleen is not on yet, and Vicki Miller is not on yet. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Commissioners, could we have a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting?
So moved.
Second. This is Otis.
Thank you all. The motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any question? All in favor? By roll call.
All right. Haley?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Billy?
Aye.
Manya? Manya, can you hear me? Oh, we can see you now, Manya. Do you approve the minutes? Oh, I see you talking, but we can't hear you, Manya. You can shake your head yes if you approve or no if you don't. Manya, can you hear us? Manya, if you can hear us and you approve the minutes, just type it in the chat box and let us know and move on with the vote. Otis?
Approved.
Again, Kat has just joined. Kathleen, do you approve of the minutes? You're muted, Kat.
Yes.
Thank you.
Rachel, I think that Manya needs just to have the question asked in the chat. She doesn't have sound.
Okay, I'll go ahead and type it in there and we can move on and I'll get her vote via the chat.
Okay. I could not get the agenda to pull up electronically. Rachel, can you advise what's the next item on the agenda?
It is the presentation on the fair drive-through event.
Thank you. Amy, Cheryl.
Yeah, I'll let Cheryl take the lead on this. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Sorry, I was muted. Thank you, everyone. As everyone knows, and hopefully had heard last week, we did do a press release on the drive presented by the Carolina Classic Fair. At this time, if Meredith, if you could put up that drive-through map, I'll just kind of step us through what everybody will see. Okay, thank you. Yeah, last Wednesday we did a press release, and we are in the process of still updating the website. But this is the pretty much the gist of the drive-through fair. It is completely touchless, drive-through only, no walk-ups, and credit card sales only, no cash. What people will do is they will enter through gate 9, which is right there at our office. And it'll go right in front of our office, and then they'll turn by the cattle barn up towards the grandstand, and that's where you will meet our first partner in this, Crisis Control Ministries. That's where people are encouraged to get 5 non-perishable food items. This is a completely admission-free event, so it is just a suggestion. From there, you'll go towards the education building, and that's where our coin toss game is. This is a play on kind of one of the midway games. We are partnering with Salvation Army and WBFJ with this, and what will happen there is we're asking people to throw their loose change at the Salvation Army buckets, and all those proceeds will go directly to them. Once you leave that area, you'll go to the left of the gazebo, and that's where you'll order your fair food. At this time, we've got 12 vendors and multiple fair food items, everything you pretty much need: turkey legs, cotton candy apple pizza, funnel cakes. There is a very large menu that we are preparing, and will be on the website and available for everyone as they get there. Once you order, you'll circle around where the vendors are in that triangular area and park on the road that kind of leads back towards the gazebo. Once you're there, we're going to encourage people as they're waiting to go to our website and our social media pages. We've been working hard at getting a lot of video messages from our superintendents, livestock people. A lot of our entertainers have submitted videos for people to watch and be entertained while they wait. Once you get your food, you will be asked then to leave. On the way out, you'll circle around the tree that most people don't really know about during the fair. It's over there where the EMS is during the fair, and that's where you'll come to our ride simulation. What we've done there is we've taken yellow jackets, which are speed bump type things that cover cords. So it's just a very small bump, but it's going to give the patron an idea of a ride, and we're going to have a backdrop there where they can take a photo op and post that to our website. We are also partnering with Intercom Radio with this, and the Winston Cup Museum is going to provide us a couple of things out there for people to look at as they leave. Once they leave out of that command post gate, that's where they'll be funneled out into Wake Forest's lots, and they'll exit out onto Deacon Boulevard. I think, Robert, what have I missed? Anything? Oh, by the way, once they leave, they can then go to the movie. We have double features set up on Friday and Saturday night. The movie picks, I'll let Robert go over that portion, but in between the movies, we are going to be shooting off fireworks at 8:45, and that is only on Friday and Saturday night. And there will be an admission if you do want to go to the movies. So, does anyone have any questions? I know I went through that kind of fast.
During the people driving through, will they be able to tune into the FM radios for messages or anything like that? or there would be some fair music or anything like that? Can they tune into their radio station, just like just like going to the drive-in for announcements? Because I think some people might need some directions or something.
We're going to have signage along the direction routes, along with, but we will definitely look into that, Billy. I know that there is something similar that they do tune into for the movie.
Well, so also just for clarity, as Cheryl mentioned, we'll have virtual exhibits and virtual entertainment on our website and Facebook that will be programming all throughout that day. So you can pull them up on your smartphones and watch hopefully a good amount of entertainment we'll be getting from our entertainers, some messages from our partners and vendors, and that'll be going all 4 days. So if you come on a Sunday at 3 o'clock to get your turkey leg and cotton candy, you'll be able to go back through 3 days of entertainment and messages on our Facebook page, and that should keep you pretty entertained. Hopefully waiting just a few minutes for your food while you're there, and then rolling on out. But I will speak to Cheryl, mention the movies. The movies we've got chosen for we try to involve a fair theme with most of these movies. We've got Scooby-Doo Big Top and Madagascar 3. Those are the first 2 movies on Friday night, followed by The Notebook and then Dumbo. And on Saturday is Charlotte's Web and Moana, followed by Adventureland and Oz the Great and Powerful. So each movie is its own price. There's not a double feature price. It's all individual tickets. And then immediately following the first movie, if not maybe a couple minutes into the end, we will shoot about a 10-minute fireworks show. And then we'll clear the midway and load in the second half of the movies for the 9 o'clock showing.
Are they currently doing 2 shows a night and doing the load in, load out, and next group?
They are not currently doing that. We did that early, maybe mid-July, but they had midnight movies going on. And that's when it was getting darker a lot later. The movies weren't starting until about 8:30. We are going to start at 7:05, depending on, so the second night, Charlotte's Web and Moana are both about 1 hour and 50 minutes, which is a little longer than the Friday night movies. So that'll be pushed back about 5 or so minutes versus Scooby-Doo and Madagascar, which we can start at 7:05, or if we have a large crowd, we can delay the entrance. But we have done that previously where we've had an exit out and a move in. The tricky part is we're going to have fireworks here. So we know, or we expect that those people who are watching the first movies are going to probably sit and wait and watch the fireworks. So we are prepared for that.
Right. Yeah, I could see that being a bit of a bit cumbersome, having folks exit on time so that the next group could come in, take those slots, and the movie start on time, and everybody make it to the beginning. So.
Yep. And that's kind of why that second movie, it's kind of a flex time between, we're advertising 9:15. We think we could start it earlier if we needed to, but it's also more of, we tried to go with more of the adult date night kind of movies. So that way there's not kids who are trying to get here early and watch fireworks. So we've got Adventureland, which is kind of geared towards the college folks, and then The Notebook, and then Oz Great and Powerful, which are all more adult themed movies. So we're trying to play, if you have your kids come to these first movies so you can stay, watch the fireworks, and then, any date night kind of older versions, you can come beyond that.
If there was someone who wanted to make it a double feature, is there some sort of plan in place for, I don't have to leave, or how do I pay twice, and how does that work?
We would have them exit and they just have to re-enter.
Okay.
because all the tickets are mobile. There's a touch-free process. You have to buy your ticket via the internet in advance. You could buy at the gate. We're hoping we're sold out before that happens, but as of now, you can buy at the gate, but it's still a touchless process, and you'll have to get rescanned if you come in for a different movie.
Hey, Robert, I talked to Ed on Friday, and I seen the video that was done promoting this, and people kept on social media. They kept saying, "We're waiting on the price. We're waiting on the price." I know some people may not hear right off the bat it's free, but I mentioned that somewhere go back and doing that spot is in fireworks. Just say free, because a lot of people, if you say it right at the beginning, they don't. They may catch it or may not catch it, but I think you need to mention it 2 or 3 times.
Are you talking specifically to the fireworks or the whole event in general?
No, the event.
Yeah, we're going to add a frequently asked questions page because for clarity, the movies are not free. Just the drive-through food piece with the ride and the virtual stuff, that piece is free, but the movies, there is a
yeah, I understand that. They just didn't understand. I don't think we said it enough in the video that was the DJ did.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to add a frequently asked questions page here this week, so that hopefully will clarify some pieces. Because I agree, there was some confusing pieces in there, so we'll clarify some of that.
Yes, we'll also be adding a lot to our social media as we promote this. I know we're getting ready to start ramping that up. We just want to make sure everyone knows it is free admission for the food event, and that the can donation is just suggested. And also to make sure it is a drive-through only event. There is no walk-ups. And also to make sure people are very aware that it has to be credit card only and no cash. So we'll be pushing those messages.
Yeah, that it's drive-through, so somebody doesn't show up expecting more of a fair experience of, that it's really more of, hey, you can come out to the fairgrounds, kind of get the flavor, get something to eat, and that's the extent of that piece of it. Then you also have the fireworks in the evening late, and then you have the movie as a separate charge. But just to, you don't want someone to get the wrong impression that the daytime, the food piece is more than it is. It's kind of all it can be given the circumstances we're in, just to make sure folks aren't expecting a lot more. So I know you'll control that communication.
Yes, most definitely. We want to make sure everybody's aware of all the rules, regulations. No one can get out of their car or park and eat on the grounds. Everyone will be required to leave, and we just want to promote the safety of the event also. All of our staff, volunteers will be wearing face masks, vendors also, so it will be a safe, touchless process. And speaking of volunteers, if any of y'all would like to volunteer, we're running this completely on volunteers. So we have some great time slots available. If you want to contact me, Rachel, Robert, any of us, and let us know, we'll be glad to have you help. Anyone else got any more questions?
Are there going to be an emergency bathrooms if somebody has to use bathrooms out there? Are there porta johns or anything, hand washing?
We're not going to advertise bathrooms. We do have facilities available for our staff. This was a discussion. Possibly one of the bathrooms closer to the grandstand could be used for an emergency situation if need be.
Any further questions for Robert or Cheryl?
Do y'all have any sort of estimate of once someone comes on the grounds and places their order, how long of a time that should take, or is it just going to kind of be based on traffic flow or?
Yeah, Yeah, there are so many variables in
Yeah.
this, and we are really, we have nothing to go on. We've looked at the way some other fairs have operated. We have 3 times the vendors that most of these other events have held. We have a much larger food menu. Hopefully, with the volunteer staff and the professionalism of our food vendors, they will be able to get it out quick. I would love to estimate it that no a time limit, but there's just no way that I can, not without going through a couple of days of this and, of course, making adjustments as we go. We just ask that everybody be patient, and we'll do the best that we can.
Sure. What kind of restroom facilities are available for the moviegoers in just a normal course? I'm sure there's concessions and restrooms for those. Would that be available for the folks doing the drive-through, or is that separate?
Yeah, the movie setup is in a separate area, and it's gated off on the midway. And
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's probably about, I don't know, 16 porta-johns out there. Yeah, but I mean, the theory is, the theory is the folks coming to the drive-through food piece are not really here any longer than 10 minutes max. I mean, unless we get extremely backed up. Hopefully there's not a high need for restroom usage. Like Carol said, we will have a emergency location as needed, but we are really going to promote no public restrooms and hope they can drive in and drive out on a fairly quick process.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. As long as there's an emergency option available and the staff knows that it is there, that's good. Okay.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Cheryl, for that update. We're gonna move on to our staff updates. The Benton first.
Good afternoon, everybody. So we've been busy getting the building ready to have guests again. So we've put some signs throughout the building, and I've sent some pictures over to Meredith that we can go through and kind of talk about. I don't know if any of you have driven by the front of the building, or some of this you can see from outside.
Having some technical difficulties. Hold on, Grant. I'm working on it.
No problem. I guess while we're waiting on the pictures, I can brag on the Benton team a little bit. HVMG had their annual awards about 3 weeks ago, and the Benton did receive the top food and beverage award for the whole company of HVMG. So we're very proud of that and the team. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So as you can see here, we've posted outside on the front doors. We have masks are required here in the Benton. You can see we put up the wear, wait, and wash, also with the symptoms right on the outside of the building there. We have that same sign on the skywalk. So when you come in from the parking deck, and we also have it coming through the tunnel of the hotel and from the Cherry Street side. So we're making sure everybody knows if you have those symptoms not to come in. All right, we can go to the next one, Meredith. So you can see this is the new pre-function space. You can see on the floor there, we've got the social distancing dots already down on the floor. We've got new stanchions up so that this can make one-way traffic. So you come out of the meeting room, you go to the right and come back around. So you're on the other side of the stanchion. So that's the new pre-function space up in the front there. This is what's on the floor. We have those on up and downstairs. So those are every 12 feet through the facility. Next slide. As you can see, as you first come in, we have the hand sanitizing stations. We have 3 in the front there. We have 56 other hand sanitizing stations throughout the facility. Pretty much if you're at a door or of any meeting room, there is a hand sanitizing station. Go on to the, okay, again, we're encouraging folks to use the hand sanitizer. And again, we have over with the ones on stands, about 60. In the bathrooms, we also installed some signage to encourage folks to wash their hands for 20 seconds. So that's in all the upstairs bathrooms. We also did the bathrooms downstairs as well. And again, you can see the social distancing having two sides, breaking up the pre-function space. The good thing about these stanchions is they're the zip kind. We can manipulate them and change things around as groups need that. I think that might, and again, we put some encouraging stickers up on the gold glass that's outside some of the space to have social distancing as well. So we feel that we've prepared the building. Now we're just ready for the governor to open up the number a little bit and let us start having some meetings back here at the Met. That's about all I have. You have anything, Ben?
Excuse me, I have nothing to add.
Thank you, Grant. Any of the commissioners have any further questions for Grant? We'll move on to the next item, Bowman Gray Stadium updates.
Okay, just to give everyone a quick update on the Bowman Gray Stadium project. The project team has been working over the last several months on finalizing design, where the design is now complete, and our contractor, Frank L. Bloom, is in the process of actually bidding out the work. If you'll recall, we're actually using the construction manager at risk method, which means that the architect and the contractor actually work very closely together from the beginning on the design, the scheduling, and so that enables us to really, quite honestly, make choices along the way as we look at the estimated cost of the project and compare that to our budget. And so we've had to tweak the scope a little bit, but I think that we'll still be able to accomplish all the key elements that we were planning to do for the project. We'll have some add alternates that if money's available, then we'll look to perhaps do those additional improvements. But anyway, in terms of timeline, Frank L. Bloom is finishing up the bidding process. They'll develop what's called the guaranteed maximum price, which would be what the city would pay for the project. Right now, with our timeline, we're planning to take an item to council in October, so we'll bring an item to you all as well for your review. But it's to take the construction contract to council in October. If council approves it in October, then the contractors indicated they could probably start mobilizing to begin construction towards the end of October and probably really start construction in earnest in November. And so the first phase of the project will really focus on constructing at least one of the new concession stands and one of the new restroom facilities. And then they'll just start that and continue that on into the spring and on into the start of the 2021 seasons. You'll see a lot of work on the field probably in the spring of next year. The goal is, in addition to the new buildings, to go ahead and do the field first, along with all the drainage that we would need to have in place to service both the field and the track. But to get the field in place so it can start to grow and the grass can take root, and then continue that through the summer. And then the last element of the project would be after football season, and that would be resurfacing the racetrack. But all we would be doing then is just simply resurfacing the track. All the other infrastructure, like the drainage, would be in place before then, and all the other improvements are projected to be completed by then. So the two new restroom facilities, the two new concession stands, the improvements to the fixed seats in front of the west press box, some of the improvements we're making inside the field house. So really that last element in the fall of 2021 would be the track. And we're wanting to give ourselves plenty of lead time to do that so that that's in place for the 2022 season. So So hopefully they'll be in there and starting work, in early November, but you might see some activity as far as mobilizing in late October. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any further questions for Ben, commissioners? All right, we'll move on to the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds update. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Jingles. I will take this one here. So just like Grant said, we're kind of sitting tight still for the newest governor order, I think, which is coming early October. Hoping we can open up a little bit of our indoor events. Still since July, the only thing we've really done is the drive-in movies out here, which are still going pretty good every Friday, Saturday. They've picked up some good momentum, and we obviously hope to continue that into the fair week. So our next scheduled event is our video game auction, followed by our gun show, which is kind of third and fourth week of October. So we'll know more, I guess, next week, most likely, on what that might look like. And then as we typically are right now, aside from getting ready for a fair, we are getting ready for our ice season. Obviously that, as of now, is going to look a little bit different. And just a few things, we've sent over some protocols and guidance down to the city manager's office, and we've talked with the city attorney's office on how we can make this look. And obviously they all revolve around the latest 2.5 phase we're in, where ice rinks were actually given specific, skating rinks, not ice rinks. Skating rinks in general are specifically mentioned and can open to 30% capacity. So with that being said, our public facing opportunity would require everyone who comes ice skating to wear a mask. All of our staff would be wearing masks. So for the most part, anyone in the building during public skating would have masks on. We would make everything as touch-free as possible as far as handing over skates and getting admission through possibly working with Ticketmaster. And then, of course, cleaning and sanitizing the skates and the skate helpers as they come back, making sure there's a system in place for that. So our 30% capacity right now would be 90 people on the ice rink at any one time. So we feel pretty good about that number in general as we roll into the time frame we need right now. And then private group rentals would be under a little different guidance, where we would have them wearing masks all the way up until they reach the actual rink itself. Most private rink rentals we have are for figure skating and ice hockey. So there's an exemption for physical activity or exerting yourself, where you do not have to wear a mask. So anyone on the ice as a private rental would not have to wear a mask on the ice, but anywhere else in the building they would. We would have the group leaders have a waiver for all individuals to sign off accepting that risk, which would be produced by our city attorney's office. And then we would limit the time they congregate in the locker rooms, and if at all possible, we would use the lobby instead of locker rooms for changing of their gear. And I mean, that's pretty much it as of now in a nutshell. We'll have a dedicated staff person that goes around during any of these times and just cleans touch surfaces. We'll leave doors propped open. And that's how we're looking to function now with opening week still scheduled as normal for October 23rd, which I think is a Friday. Yeah, October 23rd will be our opening day.
Bob?
Yep.
For the ice skating itself and the 90-person limitation, will you rotate groups yet? I mean, how will you deal with that?
Yeah, most of it's obviously individual skaters for the public skating piece. So our skate guards, we usually have 4 four skate guards at any one time who are handing out skates and then also monitoring ice activity. We would dedicate one person at the entrance and exit of the actual ice surface itself, keeping track of any attendance that is on the rink. And then if there were too many folks, we would hold those folks off outside of the rink. So the building as a whole can hold, I believe it's like 800 people. But we will not, it's 900. So the building as a whole, the capacity of the whole ice rink can be 900 people. But we are using the specific ice surface as our 30% capacity.
Okay, thanks.
Any further questions, Commissioners, for Robert? Thank you, Robert. We appreciate that report. We have come to the conclusion of our agenda today. So if there be anything further from a commissioner? If not, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for your time today. It's appreciated.
Thank you.